Yes.
Yes.
Yes. I got promoted again.
Or demoted.
I will not accept.
Okay, staff
very much.
comments, Dana?
Terry, can I ask you one question? Can you just give me the height of the retaining wall on the west side of the river on the eastern portion?
I will get you that information.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mayor. Just a few items. I want to thank staff for the effort putting, and I'm sure all of you will comment it too, but I want to say it myself as well. Thanks for all the effort and the success of 4th of July. I don't know how we kept the rain off, but it happened, and we were pretty lucky. But I think everyone had a good time. I want to thank the public for coming out, and it looked like everyone was enjoying it. Congratulations to Tom and Gail Holton as the Grand Marshals of the parade. You did receive in your packet the CIP report that I had promised you at the last meeting. Again, if you could peruse that, please give us your input, feedback, other ideas or things that you might know about that, or needs that you know of. Anything you could do to get that to us by July 19th would be helpful, only in that that would give us some time to try to hang some numbers on that and help us to consider it from the administrative point of view in terms of proposing the administration's suggested a 5-year CIP. And speaking of that, there's a CIP workshop on August 15th, and obviously we have a council meeting prior to that on August 10th, at which time we'll introduce an ordinance, and that ordinance will introduce the administration's suggested 5-year CIP. And before all that, we have an Irish festival coming up, and before we see you again, but I just wanted to let you all know we'll get you the information about that, the run a show, all that information that you'll need in preparation for that, and all the different events that we'd like you to be at, or if you have any information or need any information, just ask Nancy and we'll hunt that down for you. Just one final announcement, a delegation from our Friendship City of Moscow, Japan will be visiting Dublin on August 6th through 10th. That delegation is going to consist of the vice mayor, the superintendent of their school's ceramic artist, and his wife. And we're working on plans for a meeting with City Council and the delegation, perhaps even during the Dublin Irish Festival, just to share a little bit of that cultural experience with them. They'll be meeting with Dublin Schools and the Arts Council, and we'll give you an itinerary for this visit as well. I see that Isao Yamakawa's in the audience. Isao, thank you for all your help, and Kay, your wife, for all the help that you give us with that. We really appreciate it. And also, we are working on the committee that we talked about for Friendship City Community Committee. Councilmember Aludo agreed to represent you on that. We'll get you some information on the upcoming meeting. Still reaching out to some of the community organizations to get that committee together, but we're getting close. So hopefully here within the next, 30 to 40 days, we'll get a meeting together. And that's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you, Danny. Committee reports, P&Z, Amy?
I have nothing to add, thanks.
Mike, administrator?
Just welcome aboard our new members to CSAC. That would be the admin committee, and I have nothing under finance.
Public services, Amy? Tim, Orpsey?
No, I don't think so.
That whole big long next one there that I don't want to have to read, what about that one?
Nothing. We've canceled the 33 Innovation Corridor meeting for this Friday.
Thank you. Dublin Arts Council, John?
Nothing, thank you.
Board of Education, Christina?
We have not met since we were together last. Nothing to report?
Okay, and I have nothing with the Washington Township liaison. Council Roundtable, we've anxiously been awaited Amy's return, so we'll start with her.
Okay, well, obviously, coming back to the United States is wonderful, and want to thank everybody for the 4th of July. I said tongue-in-cheek in an email yesterday, it's an Independence Day miracle, but really, if you looked at the forecast, even as late as 8 o'clock on Sunday night, it looked like we were going to be underwater all day long, and thunder and lightning for part of that, and so it was such a wonderful surprise to have no rain and relatively cool conditions, and a rockin' good show. And everyone that watched the fireworks in my vicinity said they were the best that they could remember. So kudos to everybody involved. I know that Allison and her team just work their tails off with smiles on their faces and enthusiasm that is to spare, and it's a delight to be part of it, and I think the community always really appreciates it. I want to thank my fellow council members for holding my place the past several weeks, enabled my family and I to take the trip of a lifetime. We had a wonderful time, got to see a lot of iconic sites, and it's always great to get away, and it offers you a new perspective on your own home, and, you know, to see other homelands and meet other people, and, you know, priceless experiences. But coming back to Dublin, I mean, you know, we just looked at each other and said, you know, there's no place like home. So it's great to be back. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Amy. Tim?
Ditto with respect to July 4th. Great effort on everyone's behalf. Greg, I think you deserve some credit for the weather. We've, you know, credit or blame, so I mean, we've got to give you credit, so.
Good job, Greg.
There you go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Chris?
I'd just like to thank all the people, the community that came out for the parade. I was expecting attendance to be a little lower because of the threat of rain, and community came out, and I know it's not the highlight of their day to watch a politician drive by on a car, but they were wonderful, and it was really fun to see all the faces and the excitement about 4th of July, so I certainly appreciate that. And I agree, the fireworks were some of the best that I've seen, so I really appreciated that. Thank you.
Thank you, Chris. Christina?
The only thing that I learned is I need to make sure I have more candy in my car next year. I gave it all away in like the first third.
You gotta wait for the last.
That's all they really want anyway. But other than that, I'm done.
And the
Thanks.
cool cars. They like the cars way
Very
better
cool
than the
cars.
politicians.
I was in a
Between-
65 Corvair, so I was happy girl.
Thanks, Mike?
Fireworks, well, from my perspective, and my daughter and kids had a big party at the house, which I felt I should be there because of our social host law. The wind was direct from the stands over top of us, and we got buried in ash, and you couldn't see a thing. It was solid smoke. So good thing it was blowing, because if it was going the other way, it probably wouldn't have been. You know,
It's your
the-
direction and not ours.
I know. The atmosphere was so dense, and it was so wet and so humid that it just laid, and we'll get the city crew over to clean off the sidewalks and decks and stuff, that'd be fine. And the parade was great. I'm never failed to be amazed at how many little kids lined out. They're everywhere. They just seemed, and I think this was probably one of the, from a population attendance perspective, it was big, so, especially given the forecast. So thanks to staff for all their hard work on it.
Thanks, Mike. John?
Yeah, ditto on the 4th of July. It was awesome. It was. You know, it's the luck of the Irish, because it started raining as soon as the parade ended, and then it just kept going away during the entire concert and the fireworks. It was just amazing. So, you know, God's looking out for us, or somebody is. And I think we're going to change the name of your subdivision to Pompeii, since you're inundated in ash. Just two things coming up. The Arthritis Car Show is coming up this weekend, so if you want to support a local endeavor, it's really a neat effort. And the Arts Council is running the DART Dash, which is a run through old historic Dublin. So if you want to get out and get some exercise, it's a good opportunity to do so. Thank you.
Thanks, John. Yeah, I'd just like to thank staff. There were a number of different people that I ran into while I was there in the stadium, and I needed this or that or the other thing, and every staff member I ran into was just willing to help me with whatever it was that I needed at the time, and the fireworks were phenomenal. A lady came up to me after the fireworks and said that she had lived in Washington, D.C. for 25 years, and she would sit on the roof of her office building and watch fireworks every year in Washington, D.C., and she said they never even came close to what she saw last night here in Dublin. So, and I also want to thank my fellow council members for allowing me to represent them. I got to tell you, it's one of the greatest honors that I have had, you know, riding in the parade and the different things people will say to me and come up to me just because of the position I'm in. And I know that's just because of you folks, and I really appreciate the ability to represent you. It's an absolutely phenomenal community and a phenomenal staff, and the people I get to serve with are just fantastic. And my mom used to say it's a beautiful life, so I'll leave it with that. We are adjourned.